Are you good at anything? And if the answer to that is no, well, how about you start practicing being good at something? Pick one thing. Well, what? Well, not nothing. Pick something.
YouTube.
Maybe it's a video game. I
YouTube.
don't care. Get good at something. Because to get good at something requires you to simultaneously practice many skills that will make you good at many things. Are you good at anything?
Yes, even when you play a video game, you still have to reinforce your skills with potentially like data mining. Some like persistence can be a reinforcement. And this Max Stats episode 57 is going to be about none of those things. Alright, we're going to talk about speed bump. The thing that will slow you down. And by how much? I'm actually interested in like solutions to avoid speed bumps and the actual numbers of how much time do you waste on certain speed bumps. Because life is full of that shit. Life is fair. Potentially simply just because of speed bumps. When you figure out how to avoid speed bumps, you understand that everything is just like moving forwards towards a particular goal as fast as possible. Everyone is technically speed running life. And during capitalism, life is a competition. Right. Why did it become a competition? Again, we are open to the internets of things. And if you are the best on the internet at anything, then technically you are a very important person. So that's another aspect of being good at something. You can potentially wear a crown. There's a possibility. There's a direction to reach for. Potentially. But you can't always convince other people to give a fuck. Even right now, like social media presence is another reinforcement to whatever you're doing. Speed bumps are literally everywhere. I could potentially even find them just looking at thumbnails alone. You can even do waking up completely wrong. But one thing in particular I want to start is just untangling my routine, my way of life, what kind of brings me down right now, of what made me do this video in the first place. It's goddamn oxygen, you know? Maybe not something you particularly need. Just kidding is the fucking worst thing of all time. It will make you actually dizzy if you don't have a window open at all times when you feel dizzy, you know, when you feel sick. Like, I literally wake up, I'm sick. Waking up can actually slow you down. It resets your moods. You feel potentially a little bit drained. But even, like, going to sleep can be difficult. And we discussed that shit so much. So now let's pull some actual numbers, right? Obviously, I would say lack of oxygen. Because that would be a speed bump this way. Should I say difficulty waking up? I mean, we understand. That's implied in this video. Across all these things that slow you down. That you have to master all the little things. The waking up is not gonna hurt as much as trauma does. Alright? But this is a specific trauma that I can't actually name. Let's say you're tired, but you still get to wake up, basically. Maybe, like, sleepwalking. There's no good way to describe it. You have to go to work. And sometimes you don't even like your work. This is very traumatic experience. Even going to work is a speed bump. Everything is, bro. Anything you can imagine. If you eat food incorrectly, just noise. Noise has stolen so much life from me that it's crazy when it just showed up. I'm still thinking of like, how do I quantify this? And let's quantify it by like 1 year basis. I mean, 1 year. But 1 year basis is technically very, very long. 360 days. That is 12 months. I would say 1 month basis is good enough. Right? But even like 1 day basis, I would say like 1 month is gonna truly quantify how important something is. Because the numbers are gonna be inflated 30 times. Okay, maybe this is much more straightforward. Even something like not winning can take a toll. I'm probably gonna split into like where I am currently and what is like general worst case scenario. If you pay rent, however, you are a slave, and first figure this shit out, right? Because it doesn't matter what you do, you will still be stolen from. You will still be thrown into the rent fucking infinite cycle to be extracted legally, basically. Money being extracted legally from you. Like, that's what capitalism is known for. It's known for unpatched ways of stealing money from you, legal ways of stealing from you, to where, like, you in a fucking hamster wheel, you're making zero progress in life. The next best thing you can do is just, like, harvest skills and understand that you have to be alive and well for the rest of your life. It's a long-term battle. You cannot go into battle against the rest of the people and not sign up your entire life, you know? It's a long-ass term battle. I don't care who you're fighting, what you're fighting for, what you want to create in life. You will still have to dedicate your entire life. Yeah, even lack of confidence has taken a lot of time from me, and it's still actually taking time. It's still stealing. Like, there's so many things that steal time. It's incredible that I finally get to make this episode. Noise should be pretty easy to crack, but not really because it turned into drama, so you can always make a mistake when something turns into drama. Like, these are like super extremes and belong in its own category. Right? Drama, it is in its own category, it will have its own number. Alright. And you have to also extract all the valuable time that you spent. Because time that has been spent to be wasted is obviously the actual problem, and time you spent to actually learn something, that's not a problem. Even like losing your mind, it's basically like a bunch of like life lessons as well, of like all the things you can do wrong in life that will obviously steal your time. But you might be able to actually see what other people do wrong and how they get their time stolen. And if they're your competitors, you gotta shush about it and just be happy that they're losing, you know? Because they wouldn't give a fuck about you anyways. Alright, at some extreme points in my life, waking up was a little bit more difficult than other times. I'm not sure why, but I sometimes am tired waking up. Back in my day, but right now, it seems fine. It seems if I did everything correctly, yes, I'll still be tired, but I know I have the knowledge to not fall into a trap. This is just a normal feeling, and potentially opening a window fixes the problem. The funny thing is, I feel like this has been the culprit of this. Like, a lot of stuff is kind of like linked together in a way. Lack of confidence could like amplify how much noise affects you. It's just like they're interconnected to ruin your life. So even like theft obviously when it happens to you, is gonna steal a lot of time. Still have to remember how much time you've lost because of this particular thing. This is very, very mathematical. And it's a work that you have to do. I told you to have a fucking ninja book where all of this information goes. You know, all this self-analysis goes, because self-improvement is actually quite mathematical. It's mostly logical. You mostly have to reach level of logic, but it is important to like collect stats, remember things. Lack of oxygen, at least 5 minutes a day. And even right now, like, maybe let's start with like what it is right now. I still think 2 minutes a day, but I also still have to like work on it. And I constantly fucking notice it throughout the day. It must be like even 10 minutes a day. Yes, that's how much. I literally can't do month. I have to do 1 day. And you would start potentially realizing of like, where is the day? Does the day actually exist? You know? I did see TikToks often saying of like, well, I do one thing and that's my day. I don't know how people do multiple things at the same day, because how? But if you can just only do one thing, then you care too much potentially, right? You get through too many speed bumps. There's something going wrong if you can only do one thing. Back in the day, potentially, lack of oxygen would ruin my fucking day. Maybe like 18 minutes. It had to be like way worse. I don't really care what you do waking up. Breakfast isn't not really important, but it should be considered of like, your feelings should be considered, not principles, when it comes to like how you eat food. And again, that's that over here, right? This episode might just be the core of self-improvement, like literally the actual core, because saving time is the core. I've mentioned it many times. The moment you shave off unnecessary things out of your life and boost your mood, so you're also psychologically equipped and you know that you can go through rough patches because something is just wrong and you can fix it faster, right, when you focus on it. Hygiene is going to be mentioned. Oh my god, this is intense. I have to tell you guys the obvious. Obviously, if you don't pay rent and the government gives you monthly support, which is something people always bitch about, of like, oh my god, people get money from the government and I have to go be a taxpayer. And it's, again, money's not a fucking moral compass. You can't judge people based on how much money they have, but how do they spend the money? Money allowance should be a fucking universal thing, but some people have to work. Like, the system is fucking broken, right? And just because not all people are working, you can't just condemn them. It's better to accept the way the system works because you can't fucking change it. You know, so just be happy for everyone. Alright? Except the evil people. Don't be happy for the evil people getting anything out of life. That fucking sucks. So obviously my going to work routine went from going to work and working went from 5 hours to 2 minutes. Still have to consider something that has to be, I would say, 3 minutes. 3 minutes a day, maybe even more. Because there is another aspect of like just worrying, preparing yourself to work. basically you are seeking retirement at all times, for as long as you possibly can retire. Maybe even just like find a new job, just so you can retire for a tiny amount of time. I don't know. This is like actually the most important thing, the most greatest cheat code in life can be found with just like finding money, right? Just find money laying around. Like escaping slavery is the only thing that will truly boost your life. Just because I was working, that doesn't mean that I would suddenly afford something new. And nothing new can be afforded just because I went to work. I don't understand. But that's how life works. There's nothing you're working towards. You can't afford a girlfriend, you can't afford uh, a new house, a new place to live, a potentially better place to live. You can't afford none of these things. You could actually afford a new house if you just build one yourself. This is the only fucking way out. And if you master transportation between your house or your newly built house and the resources to build a house and resources to do the rest of the things for your shelter, like earn money and buy food. All that crazy shit is now logistics. And or you can just be rich. You know, you can just wake up rich and not have to deal with this shit. Right? This is nepotism right there. I have entered nepotism and I hope to save as many people as possible if I can fucking do that shit. Not just me suddenly nepo baby of the government, right? How much a normal life would look like? The normal life, you wouldn't have to go to work. You would just work on whatever you have to work on. All right? You would work for yourself, which wouldn't fucking count. I definitely don't count working for myself. Because, like, it makes no sense. And also, it all of that time would be actually valuable. Working for someone else is not exactly valuable. And the least valuable time spent is actually going to work, preparing to work, worrying about that shit, and getting fired too. And then worrying of like, oh, what is my next job gonna be? Where do I find the next job? All of these stupid things are part of the system that completely fuck people's lives because it's not like an increment. You can talk about this for 2 episodes, maybe even more. And I really don't want to be sucked into this, all right, when we have a lot of work to do. Going to sleep still drains me. I still haven't mastered going to sleep, my friends. On an average day, going to sleep is at least 25 minutes. Alright? It is fucking mad. And maybe I went from like 28 minutes. Alright? I didn't improve whatsoever. I mean, generally, I am adopting a principle of just like make a video before sleep. Yeah, if it's an emergency. It's technically not like a fire exit for me. I tend to see what lack of confidence does, but more what lack of courage does. I'm an introvert thinker, so I prefer to just like back off and think somewhere else when something bad is happening. Or I have to do something, I just delay everything until the last moment when I have to actually go out of my way to do something. I don't really like delaying things, but it's just like, it is what it is, right? You want to delay something that is fucking complicated. I'll tell you this, I have to do noise right away because it's so painful. Even something like my fucking computer is making noise. And my computer doesn't fuck around when making noise. My computer makes the most noise. you could possibly imagine. You know, I went from this being a problem to this being the problem. They're very best friends, you know. The current state of enslavement and just noise. Just how much noise, or like stacked noise. Noise sources you couldn't even fucking imagine, and just like people's ignorance. Even right now, as I'm making this video, I'm like trying to fucking cuddle with my PC so it fucking is surrounded by foam panels. Like something to stop it from being so stupid. But basically, there's this intense sound, and it's like, whoa, that shit kills me. Right now, we're talking, I don't know, 22 minutes a day. But it's a lot worse, because I dedicate my fucking life for this shit. It's part of my job. 26 minutes. It has to be way worse. Like, throughout the day, it has to be just so bad. There are dramatic days that ruin my life. Or dramatic days that get ruined, essentially. And even it gets hard to wake up the next day. It's just like, there's a lot of trauma in this thing. I'll just pretend that it has improved, but I don't know, man. It came out of nowhere in 2024. Or technically when I don't know, bought a fucking computer and got new neighbors. Like, everything fucking just jumped on me. Like a fucking giant demon from every fucking direction imaginable. I can't even comprehend what happens. This whole time, I never had problems with this thing. Until I did. And it was nasty. The most significant thing is I have to listen to music as often as I possibly can. To try and just kind of block the noise with other type of noise. Which can disrupt my sleep, all that bullshit. Maybe we're talking this. But listening to music isn't actually a bad idea. You know, I still think I haven't mastered any of this stuff. And I'm still working on it. Not to mention just general disruption of, like, stuff that I'm doing. And not ability to even do that stuff. I genuinely will just continue rising this number a lot throughout this video. Until I just accumulate all the sources of noise within my memory. Again, some of this is genuine work, but I'm working away from it. You know, I'm trying to escape this. I'm thinking about, like, making giant life decisions because of this thing existing. I have to talk about it all the time. That's the only thing I think about. It secretly steals more time than I can possibly imagine. And it's so important for me to figure out. How do I even quantify this number? Imagine 1 hour a fucking day just drowned with noise. I don't know, maybe neighbor's washing machine was also turned on and I couldn't fucking figure out what's going on. I just felt bad. You know, it just felt extra bad. It's so fucking devastating. You can't understand what I'm going through. I would rather just fucking run as fast as I can away from just people. Because this is so devastating. I mean, money is time as well. It takes time to get money. I just don't feel like I'm... Like, technically, you gain money from work, right? So now you gain abilities, potentially to save time. Just like eating food, you can boost yourself with money. Like, when we discussed max stats as a whole, of all different stats you can have. You can use money to boost certain things, even like, again, protect yourself from all this bullshit vibrations going on. And apparently, something was fucking happening beyond just my PC. And obviously, it is just awkward when I fucking blame just one thing. And the funny thing is, it stopped. So was I supposed to like listen to music? Like, what am I supposed to do? 50 minutes is a territory now, like, where it seems pretty solid. I don't have to move up. However, it does drain energy. Energy also takes time to recover, right? I potentially have to take this so seriously just to fucking turn my home into noise-proof, just a sanctuary, as noise-proof as possible, and just see what happens. I might have to do some like extreme things to reduce the amount of time I spend on just general thing. Like, anything can turn into an experiment of what can I possibly do? How much can I shrink this time? So if you think you can actually live a life without problems, and Ninja Book is seemingly useless, this just refreshes everything to the actuality, to what you have to be doing. You have to shave off fucking seconds at a time. But obviously minutes. Minutes. You see something that wastes your time, you have to shave that shit real good. You know, people can't forget the most crucial part is earning time in life. Literally the most crucial part. I would say it's just like a DNA strand across your entire like hobby or the thing you're pursuing. You need time to be able to move forwards. You know, you need to dedicate a certain amount of time. And this just reinforces that you do in fact like end up doing the thing that you're supposed to be doing, and you do it productively. I would say this is jealousy. I personally don't have much, but I can still recognize that I bitch about not getting enough views or something. And I still like, you double check social media, do I have messages? No. Okay, I guess I didn't win. And even worrying about like the scam interactions, that reminds you that you're not winning, that you're not talking to a real human being. Maybe you're not buying good quality food or good quality products. That could fall apart. Not winning is actually quite a lot of things, isn't it? Even like sleeping discomforts, you're not winning because you can't find a fucking good position to sleep in. Even that alone can be defined as this. Because it's a win to go to sleep successfully, but obviously now we're encompassing too many things. One thing can just outshadow everything else if we just allow it to grow exponentially. Because now this is not winning, you know, like, of course. But it just takes all these like tiny not victories that make you feel bad, but they don't really have a category. This is like the other category. All miss shots, all the mistakes, anytime potentially you get rejected, but rejection is quite big. It could be a category. For me, I don't interact with people enough to fucking care about rejection. And there's even like the counter opposite thing that is still a part of not winning, is when I do get a lot of views, when I do get a lot of engagement, when I do feel like, oh my god, I just got something so important, I have to check it out. What's going on? And I still don't win because that's still not enough. There's still just a bunch of haters or a bunch of silent people just looting basically. And just nothing is happening in actuality. Just because I gain views, that's like, it means nothing. I still have to move forward. I have to catch myself not moving forwards, just contemplating about how much I'm not winning. That is a lot of time to be fucking wasted just by thinking about it. Maybe it's not that bad. It definitely was worse at one point. It had to be twice as bad. The worst not winning piece is that other people are doing better than you. This is the most demotivating factor. This is something everyone tells you in self-improvement worlds, to focus on yourself, because you can't possibly just grab any trophy you desire off the shelf. You have to win against yourself every single time. And when you focus on other people, you waste just too much time thinking of how you're not winning hard enough. Yeah, even all of this glancing around, all of this, like, it actually disrupts your flow. You're almost like fidgeting with yourself not winning. How many views I got? What happened? It's like, if you're not winning, you're not winning. I almost have to catch myself worrying about me not winning. Because there's some things that you just do, but it's not actually productive. It's not, well, that's technically addiction, so let's just, you know, wait for that category to be talked about. There's so much work. Okay, so waking up, I don't even think it's a problem for me anymore. I don't even want to talk about it. And this is kind of like the same thing. So waking up goes away. What would I do next? Theft might not actually matter to me. Alright. I can talk about hygiene. That's also quite an inspiration. There is lack of exercise we'll have to touch. What lack of exercise can do to you is pretty brutal. When I'm saying eating food, I'm talking about stuff that's like extra. I would say, like, you have to cut the minutes in half, maybe. Or there's the actual essential time where you're actually eating. How about, let's just call it preparing food? That's the actual part where you're not even eating. It's not about food anymore. It's about cooking, getting towards the foods. So preparing food is technically shopping as well. Let's put 70 minutes in. Although it's probably more like 60 minutes. I'll do 55. It's not as much as you would think. When it comes to eating food, I will get you off the hook. You don't have to worry about how fast you're eating your food. That is insane, if you had to think about it. And even going to a shop is a little bit of an exercise. You can cut that into like 50%. You go outside, you get more oxygen. Congratulations. Or are you driving? If you're driving, then you gotta take full hits. Okay? No mercy for drivers. Not only no mercy, but you also have to calculate how much money you spend on fuel. Yes, there is a separate category of how much money you lose, how much money you spend, and trying to squeeze that down as well. When you spend 10% less, it's actually 11% more life gains. You must understand how much power reduction of something has. When you reduce your problems, it has a lot of power. Lack of confidence is understanding that everything you do can be done better, and you can get to your goal faster. You can push yourself just a little bit more to do the thing you're supposed to be doing. If you have to check Google, this is like the amount of time you delay something or waste time contemplating about it instead of actually doing it. when it doesn't actually require courage, it doesn't require like actual interactions where mistakes matter. When mistakes matter, then courage is required as a completely different category, which I allow myself to waste as much time as I have to because I'm not supposed to live a courageous life whatsoever. You know, it's just not what I'm capable of. There's basically 4 elements, right? And nobody lives a fucking life where they have to employ all the elements all the time. There's some special occasions, and those special occasions will waste your time, but you will learn a lot during that moment. Like, you can't beat yourself up about it. I have ability to think. I have ability to have a lot of confidence. Confidence is something I can lack the most, even though my life is going to require quite a bit of that. Yeah, you might even have to like visualize when time gets drained out of you. You might have to mark it down. Either when some kind of thing happened in your life, or you just kind of collapsed what the average is, because you need the average amount of minutes a day. You need that special number, and it's a lot of calculations and a lot of things to consider. This is like the average, so I'm like wasting, what, 2 hours? All of this is producing a little bit of anxiety as well, of like, this can be better. I can become perfect, but I can become perfect in so many ways. This is why max stats is also about like how fast you're going forward. Well, for a lot of people who are bad at math, YouTube is actually a wonderful place because they don't have to think. Just number go up, you know? Number go up, and you just shake your potential subscribers to support you basically, and number go up faster. Yay. Now, preparing food is so easy right now. I don't even think about it much. I just dump food into a tray, and the air fryer does the rest. But back in my day, I had to deal with the microwave. Microwave is a whole different beast, and it fucking sucked. Maybe even less time. I feel pretty efficient. Over time, I started like leaning towards foods that I can prepare very easily. Just dump and eat. There's a little bit of a preparation of like adding that shit on a plate. You know, but that's it. It's not that deep. Or finding certain things are like missing. That one hurts. That one hurts a lot. That's the not winning part. Because I can miss buying something. And I can even contemplate of like, oh, I didn't purchase this thing. It's almost like its own category of bullshit. The worst not winning part is opening your fridge and then finding nothing. Not finding that specific thing you want to find. And it's like, okay, you just wasted 5 seconds of your life every single time you do that. And even potentially like 3 more seconds of thoughts. Because there's a thought process that happens in your brain that gets occupied. Your thoughts should be about winning, not the opposite. Your thoughts should be of like, how do I force myself to win right now on the particular problem that I'm facing? How do I win this particular thing? Lack of confidence, yeah. There's lack of courage, but I can turn it into lack of confidence simply because I have to tell myself, I'm not talking to anyone. No one's interacting with me. No one's mad at me even. You know, I don't have to be courageous. I can try to expand as much as possible and it's gonna be fine. Until it's not, and then I fucking shut up a little bit. I nerf my confidence, you know, when courage is required from me and I can't fight back. But I still should even try fighting back. I mean, I did confrontations, it's not that bad. So even as I speak, potentially the number is going down. Just awareness alone is gonna bring down these numbers by 1 second. Just a little bit of awareness across the board will shave off 1% of all of this. Just putting down every single fucking thing that wastes your time. I swear to God, you will shave some seconds. Lack of confidence is posturing incorrectly, saying the words incorrectly, saying the words not fast enough. I can feel lack of confidence of like, when you feel lack of confidence, that means you have a lot of confidence, but you still know how much you're missing. It's kind of pretty satisfying. I cannot say about my lack of intelligence, because I know so fucking much, so many things, that I don't know when it's actually going to become a problem of gaining intelligence, or it already is a problem, you know. But gaining confidence is always something like that can catch up to my level of intelligence. It's quite satisfying. I have this, like, again, unique piece of personality. So your weaker personality is that piece. Damn, I swear, I'm becoming so much more powerful just thinking about it. I already feel I'm wasting 30 seconds every hour. Every waking hour. The waking hours are 16 waking hours, roughly. I would say 15. Give it a 15 because a lot of the time you're just resting. You're kind of idle. You don't want to engage in a lot of winning. You might even have something like 5-hour segments in your life, which is a nice little like way to split up your day. 5 hours, 5 active hours, you take a fucking rest, do 5 more hours of something. It seems like a very solid amount of time. Splitting into 4x4, I mean, that's also very cool. That could be crazy useful. 4x4 versus 5x3. I would want to put this thing to the test. That would be interesting. So I'm thinking 15 times 36. Those are seconds. Those are 9 minutes. 9 minutes of lack of confidence. That's not a lot. Let's see what the other side looks like. I think this number is gonna go up. For now, I'll just give it 11 minutes. Any small inconvenience or something that you encourage yourself to perform faster with more confidence means you just do it faster. I can even talk much faster, guys, with so much confidence. Alright, this thing. What it used to look like, I wonder. Ooh, a lot of confidence comes from ignoring the not so important stuff. That shit is crazy. Again, this is gonna get boosted many, many times, I feel like. Even glancing at a clock or glancing at, you know, how long my video is going for is also lack of confidence. However, I kind of, yeah, I need to set up timer. Still, I can do it, guys. I can do a timer that has the same hotkey, basically. Whew, I need to do it right now. That's the biggest drain of confidence I ever fucking have. Is like, how long is my video going for? You can see me open this shit over and over again of like, this bothers me so much that I don't see the timer. Such a nightmare for me. Certain times of day can be valued more because that is invasion of where you're actually productive. I would say no matter how you split it, the last chunk of when you are awake are the most productive hours. So because 15 are waking hours, you can just divide by 4. the amount of seconds you feel like you're wasting across an hour, you just divide it by 4. Which means every 4 seconds is a minute. Man, what is going on? Alright. Alright, we're getting the hang of this. I want to find imperfections. I want this number to be generally big, because then I'm aware of all this excess amount of stuff that I'm doing that I shouldn't be. Item missing is a fucking huge time drain. Probably some other people have it as a major problem in their lives, where they generally have to be told to organize their fucking shit. Again, there's a lot of overlap. Like, oxygen and confidence has overlap, but it's not directly the same thing whatsoever. Lack of oxygen is gonna fuck you up. However, you need both of them to open the goddamn window. You know, you need to recognize lack of oxygen, and you have to gain confidence to open the window faster. Opening a window takes the most amount of confidence. Or like talking out loud when the window is open takes confidence too. Closing the window takes confidence. Damn, it's a lot. When I was going to work, my sleep schedule was so messed up. My confidence was basically drained. I would even say like 50 minutes. I have to just think of like, how am I going to schedule my sleep? And scheduling sleep is just the worst part of work, because it shifts around. It's not stable. You can't just stabilize it on like 8 a.m. or whatever. Like, it's not that fucking simple. Again, you might think I don't really have problem. It's because of noise. And sometimes I do want to do something. Sometimes, like, waking up is just harder sometimes. I don't know. It's not that big of a deal for me anymore. Hygiene is an interesting one, because I feel like there was a significant change. Because I take care of myself, but I also try to do it the least amount of times. So I wash my hands, wash my clothes. I don't shower that much. I just try to ignore the rest until it stinks, then I can't ignore it. I think it's around this much per day. Well, my body is also a fidget toy, so I guess there's more to it. I'm not talking about the nasty shit. I'm talking about just like touching yourself all over the place, scratching yourself, looking at my fucking toe that got an ingrown nail, just like imperfections. I know I spent more time in the past. Maybe there's some crucial moments that makes it even more time than I could imagine. Should have had this. I just didn't know how to put it up. Another minute. Alright, I can see it being 5 minutes more. The biggest change is not washing my hair. My hair has to dry. As I wash my hair, I am in the shower, right? So I'm washing everything. And the funny thing is, I don't really have to. It's actually quite enough to just wash clothes alone. Shower once a month, maybe. Maybe, guys. And wash your clothes. I'm extremely minimalist on this one, and I feel like, again, people get enslaved by hygiene. There's a lot of this shit going on, man. A lot of enslavement. Except when preparing food. There's fast food. So wherever you can fucking shove your money, people tend to do that. They shove their money all the way in preparing food, potentially not even understanding that they're also wasting money ordering food to be delivered, right? Or they're not, like when you prepare food, like you save so much money. This is literally the most important money saver. In second place below rent. So people doing everything wrong. Like when you open your fucking eyes, you see how wrong people actually are. And this is the most important thing to not be wrong about. Oh, I just remembered what lack of oxygen used to do to me. Of how itchy my body becomes, how sweaty it becomes, how tired I become. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. What's going on? What the fuck happened? Everything is gone. Are you fucking kidding me? Guys, I will have to work so much fucking harder than I thought, recreating this entire thing. Or I can just take the shortcuts, copy and paste this, because it's not that big of a deal. Probably have to force myself to watch a movie and prepare a list of movies. Going to sleep gotta get fucking cut. This is the easiest one. This is the easiest one. Let's fucking smash. Let's beat him up. I still want to, like, feel like this is more like a 37 minutes. And it used to be significantly more. I think 42 was what I was dealing with previously. I don't know. You can time yourself. I can encourage you to time yourself. It's not a big deal. Whether you do it from memory or what gives you, like, you trying to shave off seconds, the primary thing is not to know exactly how much time you spend. If you can do that, I mean, go for it. Again, any time you spend on self-improvement doesn't count. It's the ultimate cheat code. You can watch my videos and pretend that you're not wasting a single second in your life. You're potentially actually gaining time when watching my videos. You gain time. Imagine, this is the craziest advertisement to everyone of, like, if you watch my videos, you gain time, you gain life. You're gonna live longer. Like, this is the greatest advertisement ever. What else do you need? I'm the only person who will never waste your time, but actually give more of. I'm just saying, that's just the effect of hanging out with smart people. Alright? You get closer to smart people and you all of a sudden get some crazy bonuses. Let's see how many more we can pull through this filter. And I have done it, basically. Because, like, I'm saving you time simply because I did the job. Now, I'm not talking about myself. In particular, you still have to do your part of the job. But I basically fucking brought awareness to you, and I shaved off a few seconds. What does it look like when you shave off 10 seconds? You know? From an entire year. You basically save this many hours. 10 seconds a day means 4 days. You can save 4 days by saving 10 seconds. What? That's crazy. But again, 1 day is like 15 hours. Which is 900 seconds. 10 seconds? Or minutes. Shit, what? This is how many seconds. This gotta be wrong, right? It's like 4 hours, maybe? This is how many seconds a year. Minute. Okay, 1 hour. No, you just save 1 hour. What? That's it? I can be kicked in the fucking balls and I will lose 1 hour. What are you talking about? Saving 10 seconds. But technically, if I can save you 10 man, that sucks. Every day I have to, what? I still just save 1 hour, which is the length of my video. It's like insignificant. Guys, I'm losing my mind. This was larger, but maybe not by much, because I lose my mind often. Like, I deal with a lot of, like, complicated tasks right now. There is no mental illness anymore. It used to be pretty fucking weird back in the day. I'll just say this. I'll just say rough estimate. Rejection can steal a lot of time if untreated. It's technically inside the not winning category, or just like feeling of loneliness. I wonder if it makes me do different decisions. I can maybe admit to like 2 addictions like Hearthstone and maybe a little bit too much gaming, a little bit too much resting can be an addiction. Okay, third one, maybe a little bit too much scrolling around. Alright, maybe I do have to pinch myself like 3 minutes at a time. Maybe in one day it's like 12 minutes. And I do think it was reduced. I'll say from 16 minutes. Like, I'm pushing as much anxiety on this thing as possible. And this could also be, you know, lack of confidence of how fast you are consuming things. Missing item happens at least once in 2 days. I'll miss something. I will not find something. Sometimes it's very severe. I can give it like a 2 minutes. And I don't think it changed. I don't think it's a problem. Maybe I'm more organized. Like, I'm more in tune with what I'm supposed to do. Finding keys faster. You know, you have to still find stuff throughout the day. I think I'm faster on this one now. I started banning people, so drama. Since last year is a crazy comparison. I'll give it 4 versus like 9 minutes. Maybe even worse than 9. So I've shown this stat before, like it's significantly less. Alright, lack of exercise is actually quite fascinating to me. It can cause so much pain. Lack of exercise can cause so much pain in your life. This can literally translate your productive hours into resting hours. Everything in your body can be trained. Eyes, mouth. You can't train your ears, okay? There's just one thing you cannot train. And even if you trained your ears, that would make your life more miserable. So I know I'm about in a 13-minute category right now. I probably reduced it significantly. I think it's the opposite, however. You don't realize how much time you're not saving by exercising too much. You just have to generally be fit. But otherwise, there's not fucking much use in shaving time when it comes to exercise. It doesn't do much. The best thing about doing exercise, and this is gonna fucking shock you, you get better bowel movement. That's about it. Alright. I can't even give it a lot of time right now. Exercise is like a very invisible force of like keeping everything together, bringing your energy levels higher, increasing quality of sleep. It's almost like a very social skill to exercise, because you want to be kept together in like serious moments in your life. or like interactive or like very exhausting. Social interactions can be exhausting. You want to keep everything together, but I personally, it doesn't matter to me. I'm not a social person, so I don't really need this. I don't know. I mean, like running out of breath is definitely one of those things. This is as best as I can give. Like 5 minute. Nah, whatever. Final calculation, obviously putting everything together. And there's so many hidden factors that it's probably at least 50% worse than you think. But for now, this is roughly 4 hours wasted every day, which means the rest of the day is 11 hours of whatever I'm doing. And that still has to be productive hours. This is like not productive by default. Every day I am productive different amounts of like 2 hours, 3 hours, right? I've even seen TikTok of like, oh, but you were productive only 2 and 3 hours. And it's like, yeah. That's how jobs work. There's nothing else you can possibly do. You have to cater to yourself a lot of the time, and you have to organize yourself so you work spread out and high quality, basically. Like, what are you talking about? That's job. That's office work. That's how it works. 3 hours. You're being productive. I'm gonna nerf what it used to be. Wait, what? Roughly 4 hours anyways. I'm not gonna count this. And I'll even nerf it by like 5% maybe? What is this? Four and a half hours. So, I boosted myself by half an hour. Alright? Potentially across the max stats period. Or something like it. Maybe last 3 years. But max stats period was pretty intense. I could say I saved half an hour every single day. Every goddamn day. And now, if we do the actual math on this one, that's a lot of fucking minutes. That's a lot of hours. And I can save 12 days, basically. 12 days of Christmas. They finally exist. I can see them. But the craziest part is that those days also save time. Also have 30 minutes saved. You know? And that's another day. Those 12 days give another day. And the day gives you 30 more minutes. Like, this is so fucking exponentially insane. You should do self-improvement just out of satisfaction to the mathematical reality that saving time saves a lot of time. Or just not doing stupid shit saves a lot of time. And you get to live more life. Isn't that crazy? See you guys next time. But you better save enough time for me, because I save your time. Yes. Bye.